We are live. Look at that. Good evening, Adam. Hope you're well. Good evening, Mark. Hope you're well. We'll give it a few minutes, and it's a little bit early. Normally, I'll chuck it up at 1:30, but I thought I'd give it 5 minutes, let everyone join in. Howdy, howdy. And yeah, give everyone a chance to join, and then we can get some bits going after that. Bloody lovely. I've got a fresh coffee, so we're all good. I've got a bottle of water as well. I should probably drink some of that first. Hey, Soph, how you doing? Welcome in. Hope you're well. James, lad, how you doing, mate? Hope you're well, bro. Did you make it back all okay? Hey, Andrea, welcome in. Hope you're well. Hey, Wayne, how you doing, mate? Hope you're well. Captain, how you doing, mate? Bloody lovely. We got 10 in. We'll give it 5 minutes. Hey, wife, welcome in. Hope you're well. Yeah, man, back all good. Slept most of the afternoon. I don't blame you, mate. You really have got to promise me and look after those feet now, though, mate. Because yeah, you got some serious walking blisters that you need to sort out, mate. But yeah, so how is everyone? You all had a good day? Hey, Mum, welcome in. Hope you're well. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Welcome in, mate. Bloody lovely. So yeah, as you can probably tell, it's the Wednesday night live podcast again. And we've got someone cool on tonight. Well, not that they're not cool every week, because everyone I have on is cool. But we have got a Mr. Adam two-wheel exploration on this evening, which is going to be cool. He is your partner in crime, Kerno, yeah. Hey, Chelsea, welcome in. Hope you're well. So yeah, it's going to be another Urbex interview, but it's a little bit different because it's as you've probably seen in the title, it's military based Urbex, which is still Urbex in my eyes. Anything from I see Urbex as anything of walking across the moors to abandoned buildings, military history, industrial history. It's all exploration, isn't it? So it'll be cool to get the point of view from someone that only does military stuff. So yeah, that should be good. We'll give it a couple more minutes, and we'll bring the man in himself. Doing okay, thank you. How about yourself? Yeah, I'm all good here, thank you, Chelsea. Yeah, bloody lovely. Yeah, hope everyone is doing well. Hope you've all had a lovely day. Where are we at? 24. We'll give it another minute, and then we'll bring him in. See if any more. We're still a little bit early. Normally, I don't start it till 1:30. I've been a little bit. Thought I'd be a little bit quicker off the mark tonight. But yeah, they seem to be going quite well so far, and I'm hoping, obviously, that it'll give Adam's channel a bit of traction as well. So for anyone that doesn't know, Adam's link to his YouTube channel is pinned in the top of chat now. So if anyone isn't subscribed who's in already, please go and do so, because he will much appreciate that. And he's a very cool guy, a very knowledgeable guy. And yeah, making some good content, so that'll be cool. Right, 25 past, let's bring him in.
Hey! How you doing?
All good? I am all good, mate.
All good,
mate. Thank you.
Moving things a bit. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. No, so crikey, we got what, 11 people in the chat. That's mad.
Yeah, we're still a little bit early. Normally I don't start it till about 7:30, so we might find a few more coming in yet. So
well, I'll be honest. I'll tell everybody I'm honest. This is the first time I've ever done this on my own, so I think I've been in a few lives with Kerno, but only just sort of as a like a back, a back buddy burner, if you know what I mean, or back burner buddies. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, no, it's as you know, I've started doing these live podcasts, and I think it's great because it highlights a lot of the good things about Urbex, and it helps share people's channels about, and it links people up as well. So people are making friends and stuff through meeting people through other channels. It's good exposure. And it gives me something to talk about as well. And
that's it. I mean, I don't know about you, but I had such a really good day up at Davidstow the other week when we were up there. That was
it was fantastic, mate. Really, really incredible.
Because I guess sometimes when you've learned all these things, it's nice to have other people to tell it to, people to try and explain it to other people, because otherwise it's all just kept to yourself in the back of there, and it sort of like goes to waste. You feel like it's going to waste a bit, but
Yeah, I said to Captain after as well, I said, from our point of view, it made it so much more interesting and enjoyable for us, rather than us try. I mean, a lot of the buildings that are up there, as probably people have seen in your video and stuff, and they will in mine when it comes out, a lot of the buildings are bare buildings. There's not much left going on inside of them. And unless you know what they are exactly, you just don't, it's pretty hard to work out what they are.
Well, exactly, yeah. I mean, it's only through, I've read books and stuff about that place, and I've also been up there a few times in the past and had tours from the museum and stuff. And I don't know what it is, but I tend to hold on to all that sort of stuff, whereas maybe some of the things I should have paid attention to don't quite stick, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I get what you mean, mate. I do get what you mean.
But it's
talking of the museum, me and Captain have come on to a winner, actually, because I wasn't aware of the museum until we drove past it to drive up and meet you and Kerno.
Yeah.
And I said to Captain, I'd really like to go to that.
Yeah.
And I discovered that Captain's dad is a good friend of the bloke that runs it.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, I think I know the guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's had a chat with him. And the guy wants us to go up and do some drone work for him.
Wow.
And go and get some outside drone footage, and also some internal drone footage in the hangars and stuff as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's amazing. I know that Kerno did a ghost hunt up there. I know it was a year or so ago, and I mean, I've known the Steve, the chap, and his wife. I've known them for many years, down to like the Military Vehicle Club and the reenactment and several events up there. I've been over there over the last few years, and it's a great place. And it's something important thing about it is they have built all of that themselves. They've got that off the ground. When they got the site, there was nothing there. It was pretty much like just down on the airfield. It was just desolate. And it's a great site. And
I'm excited to go, mate. I'm excited.
Yeah. It is good. Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff in there. I mean, there's a lot of like World War II stuff, but there's also a lot of like post-war stuff as well. And there's just a general sort of collection of interesting stuff, basically.
Yeah. Hey, Pompeii, welcome in. Hope you're well, mate. So, I mean, if you want to, you can give a very quick and brief introduction of who you are and what it is you do.
Oh, sorry, me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, Well, I'm just a general sort of bod, really, and I'm fairly new to YouTube. I only created my YouTube channel about 4 or 5 years ago, and through that I got to know Kerno, who's an amazing friend as well, and we have become really good friends. And I honestly can't thank Kerno enough, because he has helped me with just about every aspect of it, and given me lots of inspiration and lots of ideas, and shared stuff with me as well. And I've sort of like shared all my stuff with him as well, and I think it's kind of like a really important sort. He is a good mate. He's amazing, you know, and I mean other YouTubers as well. I mean, I remember probably going back about 5 years ago. It was a pretty grisly time, wasn't it? With the you know, the old
COVID.
I call it the scamdemic. Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember watching a lot of videos from IKS Exploration and a lot of their stuff with the RAC posts and all that sort of like got me fired, you know. And I already knew a bit, but I sort of like learned a lot more from that, you know. And there is actually one of those down here in Cornwall that it's fully restored and open, and I'd love to go and see it. And it's over at Velian, you know. And also made a reconnection with a friend of mine that I knew many years ago when we were doing reenactment. Well, that's Jeff in Germany, and I don't know if you're watching, Jeff, but yeah, I've just sent him one of these T-shirts, one of these two-wheel exploration T-shirts in Germany because he lives in Germany, and
nice, yeah.
Jeff is also a really expert source of information with regards to like World War II sites in Cornwall and stuff. He knows a lot of stuff, you know, and we've done a lot of extensive work with videos and stuff up at Perranporth Airfield and at Portreath and around the surrounding areas. And Jeff is pretty much bang on with all of his knowledge and stuff, you know, and other things as well. I mean, but yeah, I've just sort of always had this thing about you know, history. And I guess it's not just World War II, but I'm obviously interested in history, well, as a whole, really, you know. And the modern history, I think, is well, I'm not saying modern history. I mean, from World War One up to present, is a lot easier to sort of hold on to, really, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, you know, I've done a few videos on my channel recently with what I've shown some of when I moved house. I found some of my original Action Man stuff, which I've had since I was a lad, and I've done a couple of videos about that because I think that's kind of like got fired up by into it from an early age, really. You know, I mean, I was growing up, I was in the Scouts, then when I was in the Air Training Corps, Air Cadets. And then I also joined the Army Cadets, and then did a brief sort of like encounter with the TA, Territorial Army. It didn't really go very well with that, but I was, you know, I couldn't handle it. Basically, I wasn't prepared to work 40 odd hours a week in a factory and then spend every weekend out in the you know, doing all that. But yeah, and obviously I had ambitions to join the armed forces, and it didn't happen. You know. But then I've always held on to it because I'm from a naval background. My dad was in the Navy, you know, and
don't go too much further because some of this stuff might be in the questions, and we might end up covering it twice. So basically, for anyone that doesn't know, Adam, two-wheel exploration, military urban explorer, Cornwall based. And yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, his link is in pinned in chat now and in the description below for anyone watching after. If they could go and give him a sub and share the love. But I've got 30 questions as usual tonight, mate.
Cool. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah,
we're gonna go through and start asking you some, if that's cool.
Yeah, that's fine, mate. Yeah, no problem at all.
Absolutely lovely. So the first category is called background and motivation.
The motivation. Yeah.
What first pulled you into military urbex specifically rather than general exploration?
Well, I think what it is basically boils down to is a lot of it is, you know, there are people out there that know about it, you know, but I think it sort of like it needs to be sort of like explained and documented for a younger generation, basically, to try and sort of, you know, pass it on. And it's actually fun finding it all, you know, because a lot of the time I love being out in the countryside. I love using my bike as well. I love riding bikes. I mean, two-wheel exploration is born really from traveling around on the motorbike and checking these places out. And you know, there are places you can get to on a motorbike which are probably can't with a car, you know, and
yeah,
it's kind of like combining the passion of the motorcycle as well as you know, going out and visiting different places, and always feel happier really when I'm out in the countryside. Like, you know, it's just something and then finding something unexpected as well, like that, you know, or
yeah,
maybe getting a snippet of information and tracking it down, hunting it out, going there and seeing it, you know, and just sort of like discovering it, like, you know.
yeah. That's cool. Welcome in, Nocturnal. Thanks for popping in, mate.
Yay, hey.
Question 2. Do you remember your very first abandoned military site? And if so, what stood out about it?
I think now that would have been a Royal Observer Corps post, and that was I found it about, got to be honest, more like 10 years ago, and I knew what it was, but I didn't know much about it, and I was determined to find out, you know, as much as I could about it, basically, you know.
Yeah,
And I mean, someone I was with at the time, they reckoned it was some kind of like water tank or something like that. But then, you know, I remember going down the hatch, climbing down the ladder for the first time, and then just being sort of like, you know, overwhelmed with all this, you know, this space underground. It was pretty good, and I really wanted to learn as much as I could about it, and you know, and
yeah,
and then of course we found out later there are others. There's lots of others, you know.
yeah,
Yeah. And pillboxes as well, because obviously, you know, they are pretty easy to understand what they're for, you know, and when they're put in certain places, is to sort of like for a purpose, like to defend a junction, or you know, to cover open ground over a field, or whatever. But I mean, yeah, those are sort of first sort of steps really that you sort of take with it, you know.
yeah. Question 3. How did Two Wheel Exploration as a brand come together?
Well, I think, like I said, it was a combination of being a pretty much fanatical about motorcycles. You know, where
Yeah,
I got to be honest, I love my bikes. I've ridden a motorcycle since I was 16, and before that as well. Before I was even old enough, I'd ridden. You know, I could ride a bike and do stuff, and it's just this fascination with disappearing out of going to places where you feel completely out of reach. You know, and
yeah,
you know, the stillness of it and everything, and because obviously life is hectic and busy, isn't it, sometimes, and then it's just
yeah,
sometimes
very.
just be nice to be in the middle of nowhere and have nothing going on but the birds singing and a few bees buzzing around and stuff, you know, and but also discovering various bits and pieces, you know, and showing it to other people, really, you know. So I think it was a
Yeah,
combination of you know, using the bike, going out and about, and you know, exploring as well. And one of the other things I really enjoyed doing as well was I haven't got that bike anymore, but that big yellow Honda that's pictured in some of the videos of the past. Then
yeah,
that was a great bike to use on legal byways, you know. So you could byway,
yeah,
which are basically a byway is a road that just isn't tarmac, basically. And
yeah,
providing you stick to the legal ones, you can actually go a long way without going anywhere near any tarmac or, you know, traffic or whatever. But the idea of going out on that and, you know, in the countryside and finding stuff is, and of course, having a good brew up now and then when we stop at the side of the road and we get the kettle and the stove out, and I call that sort of standard running equipment.
yeah.
Yeah, you take your stove with you and your cup of tea, and I think it all started really from the time of the pandemic, really, because it was just, you know, everybody had this complete total, you know, thing where
Well,
everybody wanted to be on your own.
that was kind of the next question. So I'll ask that quickly, and then you can carry on with
Yeah.
that one. So when was it you started exploring, and what keeps you motivated?
Well, I think I actually started exploring stuff a good few years before I started doing a YouTube channel, and
Yeah,
I, you know, I'm like a lot of people, curious and stuff, you know. And there's stories I've heard from people and things I've read about certain places and stuff and what was there in the war and things like that. And then of course you're eager to go and find out what's left there, whether there's still anything there or the other, you know. And it's just a general sort of curiosity, but it does become a bit of an urge to go and do it, like, you know. And I mean, my first cameras and stuff I had when I started up my YouTube channel, yeah, some of the first videos really weren't very good because I didn't really know a lot about what I was doing with the cameras and all then, but I was just trying to sort of like develop a bit, you know. And
I think if you look at everyone's videos that have been doing it a little while, you look back at their earlier stuff, mate, compared to their modern stuff, and it's chalk and cheese, isn't it? It's
yeah. I can remember getting excited when I had 10 subscribers.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. So did I, man. I really did.
Yeah.
It's sort of every new milestone you hit, you just get a bit more excited for it, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
So for any bike lovers that we've got watching, what bike is it you ride?
Well, what I've got now is actually the Triumph Bonneville. I've had that bike a long time because I've had other bikes as well alongside it, but that is now the channel mainstay. That is my steed now, my one and only bike. So that is and of course you can probably tell by the t-shirt that is incorporated on the channel logo now and everything, you know. And I love going out on the road, riding the roads as well. I mean, yeah, the off-road thing is kind of limited really because in the wintertime it's hard to do it with. I mean, places are so wet and muddy and yeah, you know. But I mean, yeah, you could never take the Triumph off road. It's just it's too heavy.
Hey Steve, welcome in. Hope you're well. On to question 5. Have your goals or mindset changed since you started?
Yeah. So I think I'm you know, I mean, myself and Kerno together, you know, and myself on my own and together, I think we've covered a lot of stuff in Cornwall, and you know, we haven't really done too much sort of like outside the county, but I think that's where maybe the future lies because we've done an awful lot of stuff in Cornwall, and there's still things we haven't done and places we haven't been and stuff, but I do think that you know, Cornwall is coming up to the point where we may have pretty much covered most things, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And there's still a few other things. I mean, it's interesting as well to go back and look at something that you've done already, but with a second sort of take from it. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But then out of the blue, I mean, it's like last summer, me and Kerno, we went down to a place down near, I won't give it away, but it's near Land's End, and a radar site that is absolutely amazing. And that's one that we missed, folks, because we'd never been there before. We never seen it before. We didn't have a clue that it existed, and it was an accidental sort of like it became unearthed accidentally. I think it was another YouTuber that put Mark onto it. But when we went there, it was flipping amazing. Yeah. And so it just does show there are still things that pop up, you know, and I'm sure that Mark's got a lot of places he still wants to sort of go and you know, things he wants to look at as well. But we're both kind of into the same sort of thing, really, you know. I mean, I do like other aspects of looking around as well, like a lot of the mines and stuff. I mean, I've always been fascinated with the Cornish engine houses and like the industrial history as well. And
they're beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah. And I know that you and Captain, you did one where I think it might have been just Captain, I'm not sure, but you went to the clay country and you checked out all those China clay drives and all those old with the railway tracks and all with the trees all overgrown and everything. I remember. I think that was quite got me. I'd quite like to go up there and have a look one day.
Yeah, there's quite a few different clay dries of different sizes dotted around Cornwall, and
Yeah,
I've done about 3 or 4 now, and yes, it's fascinating, mate. Really is.
yeah, it is. I mean, I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I remember when I was a schoolboy on my summer holidays. One of my friends, or my old friends, I don't see anymore. We used to
Yeah,
go up to just the other side of Plymouth there in the summertime camping, and we used to go right by the railway line, and you'd see the clay trains going up this steep hill, and
yeah,
you'd love the noise of the locos. Basically, they were going for it, and they were chucking out masses of smoke, and just literally hammering them to get up this hill, and that was always a good one. I used to look forward to that every summer, but that doesn't seem that long ago. That's the thing, but it was
yeah,
over 30 years ago now.
yeah,
But
yeah,
so there's lots of other stuff as well to focus on, and I got to be honest, I've like a lot of the underground exploring videos of the guys that go in the mines and stuff, but at the same time, I'm glad I haven't done it because I don't think I've quite got the mindset for that. I don't think I
yeah.
could. Yeah,
It is a different ball game, so
yeah, yeah,
I do enjoy the underground stuff, but I prefer the safer underground stuff where
yeah.
there's not much climbing or danger involved.
Yeah. I mean,
Sort of the easier stuff. It's nice to
yeah,
experience it, but I don't want to do anything
yeah.
crazy or
I'd like
dangerous because
I'd also like to give someone a mention just purely because he is utterly fearless. He has no fear of anything at all, and that's
yeah, yeah,
Benno Cam. Have you
yeah,
seen
yeah.
Benno Cam? Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, I've spoke to Ben O'Cam. Hopefully, he's coming on the podcast at some point. So
crazy. Or you'll just say Benno Cam, you're a crazy bugger.
he's absolutely nuts. Yeah. So yeah, I have spoken to him. I've spoken to him a few times actually, and Sophie and Duck in chat are really good friends with him as well.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, I'm hoping at some point. He said he would. He's a really busy guy.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, hopefully he'll be on the podcast at some point because it'll be cool
Right. Yeah,
from a
yeah,
mining perspective to
yeah,
get his view on
definitely.
everything.
Yeah. There's another
Yeah.
chap as well who it's been a friend for many years, and he does that kind of thing as well. And it's Sims Exploring. Chap,
Oh, okay, yeah, I have heard of them. Yeah,
yeah, he's a friend of mine, and I do like Darren's videos as well because Darren's quite a quiet sort of focused guy, but I think he adds a bit of a sort of an expert sort of touch to it as well, And I know Kerno has done underground stuff as well, and that's brilliant, I mean,
yeah.
maximum respect to anyone who does that because I don't think I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute legend, killer. Much love, my guy. That's very kind of you. And
Well,
welcome in, Dan, as well. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah. On to the next category, which is access and planning.
Right.
So,
Action planning.
question 6. How do you even begin researching abandoned military locations?
Well, I think the first thing you can do really is to try and get a bit of general background on what it is you're looking at. I mean, you can research, you can learn a lot just simply by looking on the internet.
Yeah.
Then you can then once you've done that, you can discover other sources, and you might accidentally stumble on something that's on social media about it, or quite often you can get somebody who maybe tells half a story, and you can like piece it together, and then once you know what you're sort of like looking at, then you can go and research it further. I still read books, and I think books are great. They are like the go-to thing, really. And
Yeah.
it takes a bit of time sometimes. And of course, our expert Jeff is in Germany. He speaks to me and Mark quite often, and his knowledge is pretty good. I mean, he's told us about things that we never even knew existed. Like, I mean, like up at Perranporth near the beach, there's actually the youth hostel up there. It was actually it was what you call an Admiralty submarine listening station, and apparently you can see evidence down if you go if you know the buildings at the top of the cliffs, right?
Yeah.
But if you're down on the beach when the tide's right, or if there's been a storm and you've had some of the sand has shifted, you can actually see cables that are still there that came down the cliff and went into the water, because the whole point of the place was to underwater listening, basically. So that was what that was. I think that goes back to like the 1960s and stuff. But yeah, there's other stuff as well. I mean, like there's something called Y stations that we went to look at as well, which were really interesting. And Jeff told us all about those. And a Y station is basically, it's a site that was I think it was kept secret when it was open, but it's all about listening to radio frequencies and, you know, intercepting. Quite often, like military radio used to use shortwave radio, and that travels a long distance, you know. So in the times of the Cold War and stuff, the you know the Ministry of Defense and of course, you know, MI5 and people like that, they got a whole wealth of knowledge that was sort of accidentally gained by basically listening to, you know, Russian radio signals and capturing them and intercepting them, and you know, also things were coded. You know, quite often they would hear a sequence of like a coded message that they could listen to, and you know, and the clever boards could sort of like, you know, decode that and find out what was going on. So it was a bit like listening to the enemy, you know. And
very clever.
And the same thing in World War II, because down at St. Earth, there's actually a former World War II listening station, and there's not a lot to it, but it was actually a field, and there would have been tall masts in the field, and it was for basically what it was to do. It was listening for German radio signals, because obviously, you know, the Germans had the Enigma system of decoding and stuff like that, which obviously we cracked at Bletchley Park. They cracked that, but I always think that's just fascinating, you know, just listening to radio waves, you know, and trying to listen at it, well, earwigging the enemy. And no doubt they did that to us as well, you know. But I mean, but it's and I think it was that place at St. Earth. I think it was where me and Mark were talking about it a while ago, and somebody was saying how there was when it was being built, there was in operation, there was an army truck driver apparently that was trying to find the place. And it was supposed to be top secret, you know, all this lot. And he remembers this army truck driver stopped in the village somewhere nearby, and you know, he said he was lost, and it was actually an old farmer that knew all about it, exactly where it was, directed him. So maybe it wasn't quite as top secret as they kind of hoped, like, you know. But it's just all these sort of like fascinating sort of, you know, tales and things from the past. And I've had some great feedback as well, because that David Stowe video we did, there's actually somebody commented on that, basically said that his mum and dad worked at David Stowe Airfield in World War II, and they were actually they ended up meeting each other there, you know. And I think he said he was a crew on a Wellington, you know, Wellington bomber. You do the videos, and this kind of all just kind of like, you know, unearths it for people. And you know?
I love it when you film a video and put it up and you have people comment that have got links to the place, or had, you know, other family that were linked to the place, and they tell their story or a little. Do you know what I mean? It makes it lovely. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I mean, there was one instance, one fairly recent video where that was really important to me, because my grandfather, he was in World War II in the Navy, but he wasn't just a sailor. He was in the Fleet Air Arm, which is the flying side of the Navy, and he was an aeroplane engineer. and he was on board an aircraft carrier and spent the whole war down in the Pacific. But the place where he trained, where he learned his trade, was in Cornwall. It was St Mirren Airfield, which was
Mad, yeah.
the one and only naval air station in Cornwall, like, you know, and
yeah.
But to actually go there and have a look at it, proper look at it. I mean, I've been there a few times before, but before I was a YouTuber, so I didn't capture anything.
Yeah.
And it's just mad what's still there, you know. And I was just awarding for that one. It's private land, folks, and we had permission, so you know, yeah.
Well, talk. That goes into the next question perfectly. So, question 7: what's your process before visiting a site, e.g., maps, history, or permissions?
Well, basically, you know, now one thing that kind of scares me a bit about YouTube and stuff, and I think it's just a generalization, really. But you see, you hear. I mean, I haven't seen anything, but you hear of people getting into trouble. You hear of people, you know, getting chased or maybe ending up, you know, falling foul of the law or whatever, you know. And of course, like Mark always says, that trespass is at the moment is a civil matter, basically. And
it is.
I think what it relates to is if you're caught somewhere and you are asked to leave, you have to leave. But if you go back again afterwards, then you deserve all you get, basically. You know?
Yeah. So basically, it is civil trespass. It's a non-arrestable offence.
Yeah.
It's not illegal, but it is frowned upon by some people.
Definitely.
Obviously for probably a large percentage of the country now. Either watch it, know about it, or know people that do it. It's become, especially since COVID, it's become such a big thing now, urban exploring.
Well,
and
I
basically,
think the top priority for two-wheel exploration really is we, you know, we want to avoid any kind of you know, aggro, and that's not what we do. And it's, you know, if there's a chance that we can find out who owns the land or whatever, if there's a chance, we'll always try and get permission first, you know. I mean, quite often it's just a no, but that's fair enough, you know. You respect that person's decision and, you know, plan something else. But, you know, I mean, quite often though, I mean, if it's a site that's like, you know, it's not really secured, it's just a case of going in, having a quick look, leaving everything alone, and just coming out again, you know.
I think like sites like we filmed the other day when we filmed Davidstow Airfield. I mean, it's not a regulated site. Anyone can drive in and off of it at any point. Yeah, it's common land.
But it was like
obviously,
when
not all those sites are. You know, some are, like you say, on private land. And you have got to go a bit careful, haven't you?
Yeah, but like Mark's just, I agree with Mark. It's always better if you can seek permission, you know.
And,
quite often as well, a lot of people don't realise, if somebody says to you no, you know, you can't go in there or whatever, or do something, then quite often I don't think it's just a case of that they're being unreasonable or being maybe, you know, a party pooper. I think it's a case that people who own these sites and stuff, they may be worried about getting sued if you go in there and you break your leg or that kind of thing, you know. But I mean,
as far as the military stuff's concerned, we'll always try and seek permission first.
Yes, of course.
Because if we can get someone who's linked to the site and who's interested in the site, not only can we go there and not have to worry about ducking and diving around and safety things, but we get someone to show us around with knowledge of the place that could tell us a lot more about it than if we just researched it.
And as well, I mean, it probably goes without saying, but I can't stress enough how important it is to completely stay away from any kind of active site at all, you know, to any kind of, you know, active site that's still in use or whatever. It really isn't what we do, you know. We won't do that. Yeah. But
yeah, no, definitely it is. Yeah, that is a very important fact that if people are living there or active,
yeah,
if someone is even with the urbex for the houses, if we get there and there's someone there, we go.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
we
that's it.
don't always know that there's going to be someone there before you go, but as soon as you realise there is, then yeah, go, because that's not what we're about.
But then
Welcome in,
like,
Sax.
the trouble is, you do get people that just don't see. They they think they can just go anywhere and do whatever they want. Which I think is very very reckless, really. I mean,
Yeah,
we always suss out places, and if we're not happy with going in there or whatever, then we don't. I mean, there was one particular pillbox that we went to look at a long time ago now. I think it was back last year, and
yeah,
we knew where it was about 2 months beforehand, but
yeah,
because we thought it was on agricultural land, which it was, and we thought it
yeah,
might be a problem to go and have a look at it, so we didn't bother. We put it on ice, and then we went back to it a couple of months later, and we
yeah,
found out it was just a case of there was a field with an open gate, and it was just in the field round the corner, and there it was, right in the corner of the field.
yeah,
But I mean, it's like Kerno has his drone, and
yeah,
he's a really good drone pilot, and that's one
yeah,
of the bonuses, because he literally flew his drone over and checked that out, and at the time it seemed a bit sort of like tricky, but you know when he'd obviously flown his drone over it and learned that it was quite easily accessible, but from a different place we didn't know anything about, which was down the end of a footpath, basically. So
yeah. Welcome in, Tom. Hope you're well.
Yeah, hello, mate.
On to the next question. Do you ever collaborate with historians or locals for intel?
Well, not as yet, but I will say that Jeff, our expert in Germany, he is amazing. His knowledge is brilliant. I mean, he told us about something which was up at Perranporth Airfield, which we didn't know about, and it was basically something called the remains of what's called an Alan Williams turret, and it's probably, the thing about that is, it's actually, there was only ever two in Cornwall,
Yeah.
and one has been lost in time, but the other one is actually up at Perranporth Airfield. And if you didn't know what you're looking at, it's basically just a hole in the ground full of water, basically.
Yeah.
But and I would love to go with somebody and do some history, to go and look at stuff. Yeah, I'm definitely open for that. So
Yeah.
if anybody
Mate,
wants to do that,
having you with me is like having a historian with me.
thank you very much.
That day at Perranporth, mate, when we went into that projection room.
Yeah.
And you were telling us the layout of how they used to practice and stuff. Like, I wouldn't have known it. We wouldn't have found any of that out, mate.
Well, you see, the first time I heard that was when I was with it was that nice guy Steve from the Davidstow Cornwall War Museum, right? Well, he gave us it was a pretty amazing, passionate, guided tour of the airfield, and I don't know how it was, but it was just the way he was talking about it. He was describing it, and I could actually see it all in my head in 3D. I could piece it all together, and I mean, that's when and the purpose of that building, the bomb aiming bomb aimer trainer, that was just you think about it, that is pretty ingenious with yourself.
Like when you first said what it was, I was looking at it, like trying to picture it and couldn't picture it, and then when you were explaining bits, I could, like you say, I could vision it more after that. Do you know what I mean? You can sort of see where all the holes and beams and everything were, and it would have made sense, And I mean, we worked out where all the stairways were, and
so if you think of it in one way, that chap would have been literally right at the top of that platform, lying down, and no doubt that room below would have been in darkness, basically, and it was a moving image. So it's basically like it must have been, I think it was probably like the film footage of targets over Europe, right, scrolling along constantly, because obviously you're in an aircraft, you know, when they're traveling over the channel, they're flying at just over 10,000 feet, which means that they need to wear oxygen, you know, and because old aircraft, they weren't pressurized, so if you couldn't breathe above 10,000 feet, so that's why all the crews were on oxygen. And usually when they got near the target zone, the aircraft would descend, so they come down to probably about 5,000-6,000 feet, and then they would be able to, depend on the weather, of course, and clouds and things like that, then they would be able to visually look through the bomb sight in the aircraft in the nose of the bomber, and you would line up the crosshairs on the bomb sight, you know, put the little computer that was like a mechanical computer, all the things entered into the factored into the bomb sight, like height, you know, direction, you know, things like that. And then of course then the bombs would have been armed, because usually they didn't arm the bombs until they got about 5 or 10 minutes before the target. And that would
just in case of any accidents.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would consist of literally the bombardier. He would climb inside the bomb bay, and he would pull all these little pins out of the you know, the tails of the bombs, or the nose cones, you know, and that meant then that all the bombs were live, and then they were ready for drop-in, you know. And that's it, because the bomb, I mean, it's like anyone's seen the film Memphis Belle, you know, see the bombardier, they were lining up over the target in Germany, and the bomb aimer is literally flying the aircraft. He is giving the pilot direct instructions to move the aircraft forward, down, up, left, right, whatever, to line up the bomb sight on the target. And, you know, then after that, then once the bombs were away, that was it. Then they would turn around and head for home, you know. And, so but I think it's a real shame that there isn't one of those buildings left that's actually intact, because that would be an amazing experience, you know.
With that moving map, mate.
Yeah, I mean, you're just like being in the nose of an aircraft. You're lying down, looking through that little aperture, and you can see the map there, you know, and you can see the film of the ground, you know, the cities and the, you know, countryside and stuff like that, and the targets and lining it up. So
it was basically an olden day simulator for bombing, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's literally exactly what it was.
Yeah. Incredible stuff, mate.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a special thing, isn't it, that you probably wouldn't have even thought about unless you kind of.
I wouldn't have even known or thought about it unless you'd mentioned it. So
yeah. I mean, it's like that other comical thing I said to you about, which was the instrument trainer, which is basically like a rather comical looking little like wooden plane that was on like a kind of like a gimbal that the pilot would sit inside with the hood that was closed over him, and then he would literally rely on his instruments like height, altimeter, you know, artificial horizon, compass to actually, because in bad weather you can't see anything, so you have to rely on all it. It's what they call instrument flying, like, you know. So they would have trained them they would have given them the best possible training at that time that they could have had. And I think it was as well, it's like even when they were on the ground, when they were trained and qualified, they were probably like their skills would have been kept sharp, you know. It's like gunners, air gunners, you know. So you had the gunners in the turrets on the bomber, you know, one in the nose and the tail. Like, well, when they were on the ground training, this is something I found out as well, is one of the things that the RAF used to help them to you know, to maintain their aim was clay pigeon shooting, believe it or not.
No way.
So air gunners would get practice when they were obviously not in the aircraft, but they would use clay pigeon shooting, because the principle's the same in it. You've got to fire just before the target in front of the
you have,
target, So
but
you
don't aim at it, you aim just in front of it to allow for the time of the bullet to reach there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, definitely.
And
you know?
The speed of whatever it is that it's doing,
But, I mean, I think it's one thing to always strikes me with all of this is the humanity of it, you know, and the guys that are actually, they were young, you know, the way that there was such a strong emphasis on fighting the enemy and defending the country, basically, and all of those guys, they're braver than any one of us could ever be down now, I think.
I'm not ashamed to say it, mate, but they were built differently back then.
They definitely were, yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes, it's all gone a bit to shit nowadays, isn't it?
But
on to the next question.
Yeah.
On to question 9. What's the most difficult site you've successfully accessed?
Difficult site. Well, I think looking back over things now, I think one of the most difficult sites was, well, it wasn't difficult to get into, but it was incredibly weird because we literally went to a former army camp that was closed.
Yeah.
But the weird thing was, it was deserted, but all the lights in all the buildings were on. And that was really weird because you really did have a strong sense that you shouldn't be there. You expected some army chap to come out the door and shout at you, and it was really kind of like odd, And I know a lot. I think that place has been done to death, really, isn't it? That's but yeah, I mean, that was the first time we went up there, and we did go back there again when they turned off all the electricity on a different occasion, and that was pretty scary, actually, because I think me and Kerno, we encountered some definite paranormal stuff up there, and it was very, very weird indeed. Yeah.
Are you on about the place that was bombed by the Luftwaffe?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's the army camp. Yeah. I don't need to say.
Yeah.
I don't need to say its name, but yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But
I could imagine there was some good paranormal activity up there, actually.
With the lights on, the first time we went there, then nothing. All the lights were on, and it was weird in the sense that we were, every room we went or building we went into, and we had to pretty much look around the whole site, and and we were completely unchallenged either, because I mean the gates were open, we just walked in. And that was how it was. We didn't, and we walked in and we walked out, and we didn't do anything. We just literally had to look around, and then we left, pretty much. Yeah, but that was a bit weird. Yeah, definitely weird, that with the lights on,
Yeah. On to question 10. Yeah. Have you ever had to abort an exploration midway?
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah. Well, there was one place we went to, and there was a lot of things going on, and we didn't really expect what we saw, really, and it was it was some. I won't go into too much detail, but things weren't right, basically, and we thought we were just going to have a quiet look round, but we got it wrong, so we didn't.
Yeah. That's fair. On to the next category now, which is gear and technical side. So we're on to question 11. Yeah. What essential gear do you never explore without?
Well, I've got to be honest. I'd probably say my stove, billy can, and brew kit, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't have a cup of coffee or brew up at the end of it, then it's not fun, really. That's what's my mantra, and it's always nice though, especially if you're doing something in winter, it's nice to be able to just warm up, because down here it is, the last winter it was brutal, wasn't it? It was and also as well, basic sort of like, making sure you wear enough warm gear if you're going out, and I mean, we've been caught out by the weather a few times, but usually if it's that bad, we'll try not to go, because everything's just turns into mud, doesn't it?
Yeah. I have to say, I do love it that when we went out and filmed with you guys, we were at a military site and you kept it all military, even when we stopped for our break and stuff. Like, you were on the military rations.
I
was impressed, mate. I was impressed. It was like,
Well,
it felt real, like, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's thanks to Mr. Kerno. I mean, Kerno,
Yeah,
he provided us with those rations, and me and him, we've we've been eating that stuff for ages, and you know, the modern stuff, what they call the MREs, which are meals ready to eat. They are brilliant. They are absolutely great, you know, and they take minutes, literally a few minutes to warm up. You can eat them cold. You can eat them cold if you want
yeah,
to, and you they're just cool, you know, and
yeah,
yeah, and of course, the good thing about them is they keep for years. I think there's the date on them is up to like 3 years, I think, and
yeah,
there's some real tasty grub as well. You've just got to sometimes you've got to identify what it is you're trying to rip open because some of the
yeah.
foreign ones we've had some. There's ones that Kerner got a while ago. They were Lithuanian army. So I don't know about you, but I can't really speak Lithuanian.
No, no, my
Yeah,
Lithuanian's not all that good, mate.
but a lot of stuff there's a lot of labels in English as well. So a lot of the time you can be pretty sure. I know me and Kerno had the thing about the jam incident. We didn't know what that was. We both had little 2 containers of the same thing, and
Yeah.
turned out something like what I got jam and he got honey or something, which is weird. Yeah, but
Oh,
yeah.
mate, you should have made a jam sandwich. Everyone loves a jam sandwich.
Yeah. Well, I mean these rations they do sort of pop up a bit, you know, and
Yeah, yeah,
we do eat them quite frequently, you know, and you can buy them as well now. You can get them online. You can buy all pretty much all nationalities. There's a brilliant shop up in Wadebridge, which is kind of like a surplus place, you know, and you can buy
yeah,
you can order stuff through the post. You can even buy them on eBay. You know, they do the
yeah,
US Army ones, they do the British Army ones, they do the European stuff, pretty much all over the place.
yeah.
But yeah,
Nice,
pretty good.
nice. How do you handle lighting in underground bunkers or tunnels?
Right. Well, usually my go-to torch that I've got is my Olight Seeker 2,
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
I give it a bit of a silly nickname because it is so bright and I love it. And I know Kerner's got the next one couple up from the one I got, but I call it handheld daylight
Right, yeah.
because it is really bright. And I think I mean, yeah, I mean I've got a cheaper head torch as well. I use that if necessary. And
Yeah.
one of the other little things I've got, which is quite good, is it's basically like a work light, like a cool battery rechargeable work light.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Captain's got one as well, mate. And
yeah,
they're
it fits
bloody.
into a rucksack, and it's got like a stand. You can move it and put the stand. You can put it down on the ground and sort of like
I think you and Captain might have a similar or the same one, even. But yeah, they're
yeah,
incredible
like
bits of
yeah,
kit, mate.
yeah. But I do.
Yeah.
I've got a bit frustrated in the past with some of the cameras and things I've used because actually in the dark they're just not great, you know. And I think I know that you can get these newer cameras now. They have like Kerner's got one with low light mode on it, and he can
Yeah, a lot of the newer stuff now's got low light capabilities.
yeah. I've seen him. I've seen him film things at dusk, pretty much, and it looks like it's just sort of like Wednesday afternoon, like you know, it's pretty good.
Y-
But
Yeah, I was surprised actually, even with the drones as well. We went up and done a manor in Somerset, and we were filming, getting the drone footage at sunset, and the sun had set, and I still had some shots to do. So they were
that's
kind of like the sun had set and it was dark, but
yeah,
when I
yeah,
looked back at the footage, it still looked almost daylight. You know,
yeah.
it was mad.
That's mad. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know I use GoPro cameras, and the trouble with GoPro cameras is, like as Mark always says, they're not that good in low
Yeah.
light levels, like you know. And
Well, that was the next question, which is what camera setups are you using for filming?
yeah, well, I've got a GoPro. I've got 2 GoPros, and I mean GoPros are great because they're so tough and versatile, you know, and they're easy to sort of drag all your files off of and upload onto your computer. And I've also
Yeah,
got all these cameras, by the way, I've been gifted as well, which is really, really helpful, you know. And I've got an Osmo handheld camera on a gimbal, which is really handy. I really like that, and that's always sort of like, it's so small as well. You can put it in your pocket and keep it with you. But I think I do tend to stick to GoPro, and also my when I'm doing opportunist stuff, maybe I'm out and I've found something, and I might just whip my phone out and use the video on that. We've got a Samsung Galaxy phone, which actually does produce quite good footage. And
I've got an S25 Ultra, mate, and it's the quality is incredible. And even the new one that's just come out now, the S26, that's got built-in stabilization, mate. So it's like it's got the gimbal in the phone for the camera, which
that is good.
Which is going to be a game changer for a lot of people, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think I definitely need to look for an upgrade in the future. I think I need to look for an upgrade, and I think the trouble is with cameras, I got to be honest, I don't really know enough about them, you know, and I about all the things about like resolution, low resolution, high resolution, you know, like frames per second and all that. Like, it does it a bit hard to understand, you know. And some people talk about it quite fluently because they understand it totally and they know what to do with their camera and what situation and stuff. But I think I'm still learning with that, really, you know.
Yeah.
And I have noticed as well that I tend to film everything in 1080p because it's easier to store and it's easier to edit. And I've done a few 4K videos, but they do take a long time to upload. As you know, I know Kerno said that before as well. So what about yourself? What sort of stuff do you use?
For filming, I originally started on my mobile phone with the Osmo mobile gimbals. And then it just got a pain in the ass having everything stored on my phone. And having to transfer it all from my phone. So then I've used what Kerno's got now. So I'm on the Pocket 3, which is a very cool bit of kit. It's actually right next to me, so I can grab it and show you. So yeah.
Oh wow!
One of those little
that looks good. Yeah. That's kind of like that's a bit like an overgrown version of my little Osmo thing, you know. But obviously, it must be a lot better than that, you know. But
well, the Pocket 4's come out this week, so the new version of it's come out this week as well. But
awesome.
I mean, there's something new. Like if you buy the newest camera out within 12 months, there's going to be another one out. It's like the new camera gear's coming out as often as new phones.
Well, so,
and if you look at all the kit you use as well, like you use your Pocket 3 and you use your drone and whatever as well. Like if you're upgrading that every time a new one comes out, man, it's ridiculously expensive.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got the DJI Mini 2 drone, and that's I'm just about sort of like got to grips with it now after having it for quite a while. And I do like flying that now. I'm starting to get a bit braver with it now because I think my only experience with anything like a drone before was basically model airplanes, you know? Flying model airplanes, if they get too far away from you, you won't be able to tell which direction they're pointing in and you will crash them. But of course, with a drone, I'm still got the bit of a fear of losing it or losing control of it, if you know what I mean.
I was very impressed with your drone at Davistow in those high winds, mate. I think it handled incredibly for the size of it.
Yeah, it did okay, I think. Yeah, and I was kind of like a bit, bit nervous of it, but then when I seen you guys flying yours, that gave me a bit of extra confidence, and I just thought, okay, I'll do it. Yeah.
I definitely need to upgrade to a bigger one next though. After being there and seeing Kerno with his big boy drone. And then going out and filming with Secret Vault for the day and seeing him with his big boy drone as well.
Yeah,
that's chalk and cheese, mate.
Yeah. I think the only thing you can really say about the smaller drones is they are still good and they do a lot. You can do a lot.
They're incredible, mate.
Yeah,
Really incredible.
and of course you could. I guess they're easier to sort of stow, to pack away, and you can carry them with you, lightweight stuff,
Yeah, there's lots of pros over a mini.
Yeah,
And there's lots of pros over a bigger drone as well.
yeah,
They're both good.
yeah.
They're both good for different things.
Well,
This
big
is
is
why I'd
yeah.
use them both. I really would.
Yeah. Well, I got to be honest. I think the Mini 2 is like a Renault 5, and that one
Yeah.
that Kerno's got is like a Dodge pickup. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've
Yeah.
got an even smaller one as well because I've got that little Neo that you see me use.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
have, I heard about them, but I've not really paid much attention to them. I know it was pretty nifty, wasn't it?
It was funny because we had like all different sizes. We had me using my mini one, which was like the child's drone, and then me and Captain were on like the teenager age drones with the Mini 4 Pros, and then Captain had a full adult one. Colonel, sorry, had a full adult one. Yeah,
it was great. Yeah, I mean, it was. I just remember hearing that. It was like sounded like a bit like sort of like an insect sort of swarming along behind you. Like, yeah, it was only a small thing. Yeah.
Yeah, to see how it coped in such high winds was incredible.
Yeah, that is cool, isn't it? Yeah, and it just sort of stayed on course and followed you, didn't it? Yeah. So.
There's nothing wrong with a Mini 1, Tom. To be fair, they're all really good drones for
I like
for
that.
what they are. It's just the next one up's got slightly more features, and the next one up again's got slightly more features. But even down like where the Mini 1s are, they're still incredible drones, mate. They really are.
Yeah, aren't they? Just bloody hell, yeah. Yeah, and of course I've got to thank Kerno for that, because obviously that was something that I was lucky enough to be given from Kerno, and I just, like I said, he's helped me so much. It's unbelievable, and I've kind of like put my own sort of like spin tried to put it into the video, well, not spin, but my own style on the videos sort of thing, so I mean, just just do what I think is natural, but at the same time, it's important to have a laugh. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
On to the next one, question 14. How do you manage navigation in complex or maze-like structures?
Right. Well, navigation it's a tricky. You're talking like I guess you're talking like a bunker or a building or
like underground tunnel systems, or just big sites in general, or
well, I think the way to do it is to basically just if it's dark, obviously we would never go in a dark labyrinth of anywhere without a decent light source, and you're asking for trouble, ain't you? It's because someone's going to fall over, or you're going to put your foot down a hole, or but I mean, like I said, it's the key really to us is to get as much information about what you're looking at before you kind of look at it, really, and if you don't know a lot about what you're looking at, then be very careful, and usually as well, I mean if it's anything sort of like mining related or whatever, then you need to be really careful, or industrial, because there is some really major potential pitfalls and stuff there, isn't it? And I think it's just you got to weigh it up, and on the day when you're there, and you got to think to yourself, like, is this worth going in there and potentially having a problem? But if you can see where you're walking and you can see the floor, most of the time it should be fairly common sense, like,
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Abandoned Cornwall, welcome in. Hope you're well.
Hey, hello.
Question 15. Have you ever had gear fail at a critical moment?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I've had that lots of times. I've had cameras that have suddenly just refused to work. I've had torches that have suddenly gone dark and they won't switch on again. I've had straps on bags break and all kinds of things. I remember once I was looking at something, I can't remember what it was, but the whole sole of my boot just like delaminated, and I found myself literally walking on this dodgy floor with just the bottom of my boot and the sock, like showing through the air. And Mark's had wet feet and stuff, and one of our friends who works with Mark as well, he's fallen over a few times, and we've had a few sort of like dodgy ones, and accidental cuts and bruises, or you maybe get lacerated by brambles, or some it all happens. And usually it's me. I fall over whenever I go out with Mark. It's usually me that falls over first normally.
Well, you were almost castrated on the last one, mate, in all
Oh
fairness.
God, yeah, I think that was a very, very lucky escape, that was. And well, I was wearing a different pair of boots to what I usually wear, and the boots I was wearing that day, the soles on them are a lot, are a lot less supple. So they're quite, they're new boots, so they're quite rigid. And I think what it was, I couldn't quite get my foot to pivot on that other fence part, the lower fence rung, for a while, and I just fell. And thank my stars, it was just a bit of impact rather than anything else, which was
my stomach dropped, mate. I was fucking. I felt for you. I thought you'd really hurt yourself.
Yeah,
I was worried.
I was worried that I had at the time. I wasn't sort of flippant about it. I was like, I know, and I literally had to go off on my own and check myself out, and thankfully I was okay. But the moral of that story, I think, is if you're going over a fence that's got barbed wire nailed to the top of it, then you need to be very, very careful, basically, or maybe consider not bothering.
Or make sure you've got someone with you that can untangle the barbed wire from your trousers.
I wouldn't want to do that. In fact, if I was there on my own, I wouldn't have done it. Basically.
No. Well, onto that, we're into the next category now, which is risk and safety. So that fell into line really well, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So, question 16: what are the biggest dangers in military urbex people underestimate?
Well, I would definitely say it is. First of all, it's going to be obvious things like fences. It's going to be the risk of getting into trouble with livestock. You could suddenly find yourself in a field, and if you haven't checked it out beforehand, you could be surrounded by dangerous sort of like livestock or whatever, which is why it's important to suss out somewhere first before you go in there. And also as well, dark spaces, and don't go into any dark spaces unless you've not even a pillbox, really, unless you've got a torch with you, because in this day and age now there could be a lot of pillboxes that we see and places like that is full of junk, and people do chuck out some really nasty stuff, and the other thing as well with World War II sites and things like that is the presence of asbestos panels, roofs, and things like that. And usually, if there's, it's not uncommon to see loads of all this asbestos roof sheeting and stuff just dumped somewhere, building there. And you step over it carefully, but try not to break it, because it's the dust. When it gets broken, it's the dust that is obviously harmful.
Yeah, it's the dust from when it's disturbed. I think if you don't disturb it, you're all right. But I think it'll also depend on how well ventilated the area is as well, and obviously length of exposure as well. But it's nasty stuff, so you're best to just try and stay as clear from it as you can,
And also bits of old sharp metal work, like maybe rusty brackets or bolts or something coming out of a wall. Maybe you haven't seen it, you brush it or whatever, you cut yourself up pretty badly. It's just like basically it's weighing it up. When you go somewhere and you find somewhere and you look at it and you think to yourself, what's going to be in there when I get in there, and if it looks like it's full of water, definitely, if it's a full of water, that stops us every time. That does, you know. I mean, there's a battle HQ down, which is basically an underground headquarters, which is down at RAF Pradanic, and I swear we didn't know where it was. We did find it in the end, but if you did go down there, you'd be up to your neck in water. That deep water like that is very, very dodgy, and not just risk of obviously drowning, but also the biological side of it. You know, it's stagnant water. It's been in there
Still
for years.
water is very dangerous,
Yeah,
mate.
very, very dangerous. You know, I mean, there are a lot of things you need to look out for, and you know, I mean, anyone's got any allergies as well. Like some people can't get stung by wasps or bees, or you know, some
Yeah,
people.
I'm allergic to wasps
Yeah,
and bees.
yeah, and some people, you know, they might get like a nettle or a thorn in them, and they can you know start swelling up, or you know, it is a risky business, really, you know, and
Yeah, so if we're ever out exploring again in the future together, which I'm sure we will do, because I had an amazing
yeah,
day last time. If you randomly see me running off like a screaming child, it's
yeah,
probably because there's a wasp or a bee's just past me, mate.
yeah. No, no. Well, I've had some scary encounters, you know, in the past with insects and stuff, and yeah, I mean wasps I think are the worst one. I think with a bumblebee you're pretty safe really, because the bumblebee doesn't want to sting you. If it stings you, that's it, it's dead.
It dies, yeah.
But wasps are evil. They are absolutely evil things, you know, and they will,
It it
if you upset them or disturb them, they will hunt you down.
yeah, it wasn't a friend of mine, but it was a friend of theirs. So a friend of a friend was allergic, and they got
Yeah,
stung by a bee. They died, man.
yeah. Well, I think that what happens is something called anaphylactic shock, which
Yeah,
is
that's it.
basically, I think it can make your throat swell up and close over your airway, and yeah,
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it's very serious, really, you know. And also as well, I mean, some people like there are certain plants and things like, I mean, I know nettles. Everybody knows what nettle rash feels like, but there are
yeah.
other plants as well, like cow parsley and things like that. You know, the yeah, that can like
There's ones with like the white flowers on that can
yeah,
make give you real bad blistering and
yeah,
stuff.
that's
And
right. And well, they can all cause all kinds of skin problems and stuff, and that's why like they say
yeah,
you shouldn't strim these things, or you know, and it's like when
yeah.
you want to
I was
strim it.
reading something about them the other day actually, and I'm sure I said that it said that once you've got it on your skin, the effects continue to keep
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
effect for like two
yeah,
years.
yeah. It's like
It
chemical burns.
literally,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
chemical burns, but they keep developing over like two
You do.
years. You
Yeah.
literally can't get rid of it, man. It's
Yeah, I mean ragwort and other things as well, you know, and yeah, I mean, to be honest, in the British Isles, there's not really that much harmful stuff in the countryside, you know. I mean, you do have to watch out for adders in summer though. So if you do go, if
yeah,
I ever go anywhere in long grass, I'm always a bit suspicious about adders, and I've found a few over the years, and my dog has found some as well, and that's one of the things that really scares me, because obviously with dogs when they get older, the dog will just want to eat it. You know, he'll just want
yeah,
to, yeah. And an adder bite is could potentially kill a small child, but for the
yeah,
dog, it was fairly fatal for the dog if you don't get. I think if you get bit by an adder, you've got to get to an A&E within a set amount of time to get they do carry the anti venom, you know, and that's
yeah,
something. But you know, I mean, you're only talking about hot weather there, though. You know what I mean? Adders are usually come out.
yeah,
Like, I mean, yeah, this time of year they might be sort of stirring, and when the weather gets a bit warmer and stuff. But you know, yeah, especially
yeah,
down
yeah.
lizard and all. But yeah, it's just
Um,
basic stuff, isn't it?
yeah, definitely. What was that one we done? We've done that one, risk and safety. Have you had any close calls or genuinely scary moments?
Yeah, yeah, a few times. Yeah, you know, I think the main thing has been obviously like falling. You know, literally there was something we went to look out a while ago, and it was a completely concealed by overgrowth from gravel, overgrowth from brambles and stuff and nettles, and it was one of those things. I thought I might be able to get down into it. I didn't think it was that deep, but it was actually a lot deeper than I almost sort of like let go and couldn't stop myself going in, and and a couple of times as well, we've walked on something that feels sort of very dodgy underfoot, and you know that you don't want to be where you are. You got to move, that sort of thing, and it is potential. But then again, like I said, it all comes down to all it takes really is you feel that once, and you know you got to be careful, and you might want to reassess what you're doing and where you are, and of course when it comes to mine workings or anything, that it's never worth the risk messing around with anything like that, or anywhere where there's a steep drop, or
yeah, definitely.
Like sometimes, quite often, down here in Cornwall, you've got bits of like boggy areas as well, where you might be thinking you're walking on long grass, and you actually find out you're in, the ground is literally rippling underneath you. And you think to yourself, this is like marshy, boggy ground, and if you get stuck, and you're on your own, you can get into real difficulties. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Try and stick to paths.
How do you assess whether a structure is safe to enter?
Well, basically, you kind of like look at it from the outside, and then you kind of like just have a look on the inside, and if there's any doubt about the structure of it, I mean, quite often, if it's usually quite windy when you go out in it, and you can hear what's going on with the building as well. I mean, there's all kinds of like weird moans and noises and stuff, and if it looks dilapidated and like it's falling apart, or perhaps it's full of junk, or flooded, or it might be like full of rubbish, basically,
Yeah.
You just have to ask yourself, is it worth it, really? I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, we tend to stay clear of places like that. If it looks too hot, too dodgy, then we won't bother with it.
Yeah, definitely. Do you take any precautions regarding unexplored ordnance or hazardous materials?
Well, that is another sort of thing of common sense. I mean, it's not the sort of thing we don't really find much of that when we go out and about, really. I mean, we're yet to really discover anything like that, But I mean, I think I've got a fairly broad knowledge of weapons and things like that. And of course, if you're in any situation where you find something on the beach or whatever, if you're not sure what it is, or you've got any kind of doubt about what it is or whether it's safe or not, I think the best thing to do is just to leave it alone, don't touch it, and tell somebody where it is. Yeah, I mean, there's certain places where you're likely to find that sort of stuff. The beach is one of them, believe it or not, because things wash up. And also as well, if you're perhaps we don't have any ranges down this way where you could really walk across. I mean, if you were somewhere like Salisbury Plain or whatever, yeah, you would be highly likely to find something. I know there's a beach up in Devon somewhere which is apparently littered with lots of munitions and stuff, and I think that was for the same reason that it was once or is an army range or whatever, and if you find anything like that, then the best thing to do is to leave it alone, really. But I mean, we've seen things people have found, like innocent enough things like a shell casing, or like a rifle cartridge, or anything that looks like that looks like it's been spent or whatever. But if it's live, then yeah, it's not a great idea to pick it up and put it in your pocket, really. And yeah, but I think it's most likely you're going to find stuff on beaches and things. There's been all sorts of things that have been washed up in the past on beaches, and like flares, and what do you call it? These small autonomous sort of like torpedoes and things that just appear from time to time. And you know,
we found Scrayston Fort. We found a lot of spent ammunition and
yeah,
flares and
yeah,
bits and bobs like that.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's if you find, I mean, you usually easy to tell whether with ammunition and stuff, anything live, then leave. It's usually the best idea is to leave it all where it is, basically. You know.
Yeah, definitely. The last one in this category, which is how do you balance pushing the limits versus knowing when to walk away?
Right. Well, it really is a case of, I mean, it's a case of, you know, how important is it to see what you want to look at? Is it worth hurting yourself, or is it worth maybe coming back again next time with somebody else, or maybe a bit of a ladder, or whatever it is you need to help you?
Yeah,
You know, I mean, yeah, there is only so much you can do. I have been exploring on my own quite a lot, and I've had a few instances where I thought, nah, I shouldn't really try this on my own, you know. But then some
yeah,
people will, won't they? Some people will just do it for the hell of it, like, you know, and they won't care, and they'll just, you know. But and sometimes they will succeed, won't they? And sometimes they're not so lucky, you know. But
yeah,
I think the best way to do it is if you're going off anywhere on your own like that, then you tell someone where you're going basically before you go, and so at
yeah,
least somebody knows where you are, you know.
yeah,
And
definitely.
make sure your phone's charged up as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's plenty of places down here in Cornwall where your phone won't work, but make sure it's charged anyway.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, the next category is legal and ethical considerations.
Well, I mean,
So, question 21,
yeah.
where do you personally draw the line between exploration and trespassing?
Well, that's a good one. That's a good one, basically, because I mean, I would always think first of all about how I would feel if I owned that bit of land and somebody just, you know, decided they were going to come over and help themselves. Like, you know, I mean, there's a difference between, say, if there's a field and a couple of other fields there that and nothing else nearby,
Yeah,
then there's a pillbox in the corner of the field. All you want to do is go and have a look at it, walk around the edge of the field, you know, if there's anything grown in there, and you know, not do just popping in for a quick look and coming out
yeah,
without leaving any kind of trace of anything, or you know, I think that's sort of like acceptable, you know, providing you don't
yeah,
go trampling on anything, or you know, I mean, because quite often I don't think anybody really would, you know, is going to get upset about that. You know, I mean, if you're going to see a pillbox or whatever, you know. But at the other
yeah,
same time, the other side of it is as well is like if you have to climb a 10-foot high fence to get to it, then no, that's not really very good, you know. And
yeah,
like I said, usually it comes down to permission again as well. Sometimes if there's the slightest chance, you could just knock on the door and say, look, could we just have a quick look at that, you know, what that is over there. And
yeah,
I always feel a bit better about that, really, you know. But it might be that sometimes there's no one to ask, you know. If you're out
yeah,
in the countryside and whatever you want to see is like literally in the middle of some really isolated land, then you just take care. You just don't dawdle, don't
yeah,
go and swiftly have a look at it and then come away again, like, you know. That's
yeah,
that's usually what it was. But no, I mean, we would never go into any kind of like active site at all, you know, or farmyards and things like that. No, is a no really. Anything where we could, you know, be perceived as doing anything wrong, then it's not really a good idea.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Um,
it's always the same, isn't it? Whenever something happens, maybe you haven't done it, maybe something goes missing or something gets damaged or whatever, and then I always think to yourself, well, that guy was there. He was the last one we saw there. Oh, he must have done it. And you have
yeah,
that problem with people jumping to conclusions, you know, and just the fact that you were there, that means you've done it, basically. Like, you know, and yeah, I mean, me and Kerno have had an experience like that in the past, and it's just you know, we've learned from it basically. You know.
Yeah. On to the next one. Have you had any encounters with security or authorities? And if so, how did you handle them?
Basically, just by being honest. That's the only thing you
Yeah.
can do, is just be honest, be straight, and you know, we tell them what we're doing, you know, why we're there, and we don't tell them anything other than the truth, basically, you know. And
Yeah.
I think two-wheel exploration, and I mean, I don't know. I'm sure Colonel feels the same, but we're not into illegal stuff. That's not what we're about. You know, we just want to
Yeah.
get interesting bits and pieces, whether it's history, military, industrial, railway stuff as well. I really like railway stuff, and you know, I know Colonel does as well. And you know, anything like steam engines, all this sort of thing, engineering as well. That's the sort of thing that makes us tick, like you know. So,
Yeah.
but we definitely don't want to get involved with doing anything, you know, illegal at all, you know.
Yeah.
But like I said,
Obviously, we don't do anything illegal, but
yeah,
we stay within the laws. But we sort of delve into the more frowned upon areas with some of the properties that we go to, rather than
yeah.
versus what you do. If you see what I mean.
Yeah, well, I'm aware of that, you know, and
Yeah.
that's completely up to you, you know.
Yeah.
I would,
I mean, I know Mark delves into Urbex a little bit more, like, but
yeah,
it's
he does, yeah, and he does the
yeah,
paranormal side of it as well, which is
yeah.
quite interesting.
Paranormal's cool, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, no, I
Um,
mean, there's different, you know, classes of stuff in there on YouTube. It's quite a broad spectrum, you know. And
yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
I mean, there may have been one or two things that we've looked at that maybe we shouldn't have, or whatever. But it's only ever been a case of, well, there's nobody here to ask permission or whatever. We'll just have a quick look, you know, and that's about as much as we push it, really, you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's never any ill intention or anything like that, you know.
No,
It's all
no. But at the same
yeah,
time, I think I would feel a bit different if it was like, say, like a house full of possessions or something.
yeah.
I'm not sure how I would feel about, you know, going in and looking at that, because it
It's
just
definitely a
yeah,
different experience, because it's obviously like if you're exploring like a military site, that's a site where lots of people have been, lots of people have
that's
worked.
right, yeah,
There's been a lot of people going on, but when you're in a a personal home, there was a small family that lived there at some point, and it's definitely a lot more personal. But
yeah, it is,
I
yeah,
enjoy that side of the story as well, trying to figure
yeah,
out what happened and all that sort of stuff as well.
yeah. I totally get that. Yeah.
On to the next one. Question 23. What are your thoughts on preserving sites versus revealing locations publicly?
Yeah. Well, I think that is massively important, because there are some places that we have found out about and visited that are not well known places, right? And
Yeah,
if I think a lot of the time, one of the things you have to be really careful with YouTube is everybody gets in on something. Eventually, everybody finds out where it is. They want to go there. They do their video. They want to go there, and of course, not everybody is as sort of like, you know, careful when they go there. You know, and some people
no,
will just literally go there and go to a place and smash it up, or graffiti, or trash it, or whatever. You know, and then
yeah,
you get the bad name then for saying, well, you advertised it, you know, you know. And what's important to us as well is that we've found some amazing things, you know, that we have not revealed, for the simple reason
yeah.
that we don't want people to go in there and trash it, you know. And
Yeah,
that's
I know
really,
both you and Kerno are both very hot on who you share locations
yeah,
with.
definitely, yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think it depends on the site, like, as well. If it's somewhere
and
like
also as well
Davidstow that
some,
everyone knows about already, you can
yeah,
post where you've been because everyone knows about it already. But if it's something this a bit more special and a bit more out of the way that you don't want vandalised and not many
yeah,
people know
definitely
about
not,
it,
yeah.
it's better to try
And
and keep
also
it
as well, I
under
think if
wraps.
if you've got permission to see somewhere, then you have a duty to make sure that you pass on the message that it isn't just open season. It's actually you have to ask before you go in there and help yourself, and yeah, and maybe quite often people you just go and irresponsible people that go and wreck places. That's quite often the reason why a lot of people will say no, and especially when you mention YouTube, they oh no, we don't want everybody coming here and smacking it up, and. But I think most of the time it's just it's just common courtesy to protect the site's location, and maybe like as we get I mean, we've got to know you guys. I think Mark shared a few locations with you, and I think you captains the same, and and I would give you a few places to look at as well, because I know you would appreciate them and you'd be respectful with them,
Yeah, I think once you've made like a bond with someone and you sort of, it's a bit different then, because you can trust them and that, But I think with how many people doing it nowadays, some of the locations can definitely become in the wrong hands. And
and that's something that's very important to me and Kerno as well. I mean, there's some places that everybody knows about them. Some places you just well, that's common knowledge, like but some places that need protecting, really.
On to the next one. Have you ever decided not to release footage for ethical reasons?
A few times. Basically. I mean, basically, when you found out about something and how it's like, at the end of the day, it's everybody's got a decision to make, and that's, do I want to drop myself in the poo? But I mean, and other times it might think to yourself, well, if I don't personally feel happy about filming something and releasing it, then I won't, basically, and also as well, I know that Mark has thought twice about filming certain things and and releasing it and whatever, or maybe he might keep it somewhere and release it at a much later date or whatever. But I think the basic morals of that is don't do anything you shouldn't do, really. I think that's the basic bit.
On to the last one for this category is, what responsibility do creators have towards the Urbex community?
Well, I think that it's the responsibility you have is to just sort of like, allow people to get a look at what you're doing, but at the same time, everybody's got their their boundaries, haven't they? And I think what would go a long way to help with Urbex and on YouTube as well is to encourage people to be more respectful at places they go to, to actually make sure that, because I think it's going to get very difficult in the next couple of years. I think there's going to be a real issue with urbexers and stuff, not the people that we know and like us, but I'm talking about people that are less careful about what they do. There seems to be a massive...
I don't think the laws are going to be like this forever. I think civil trespass won't be a thing forever.
No.
At some point they'll make it a criminal offence to trespass, like it is in other countries.
And I think I've got a feeling that they'll, it's not a feeling. I think it's more of a fear that they're going to turn it into like a witch hunt, basically. It's going to be like, you will be sort of like, found and look, got at, and
I suppose it's gone a bit like that with some of the auditors, because there was a few people started doing it, and then everyone started doing it, and it was frowned upon, and then everyone loved it, and now people have delved deeper into some of these people's lives, found out some bad things, and there's some real big hate groups and stuff towards it now.
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
always say, like you know, why put yourself under the radar, under the spotlight, you know, for
mm,
for nothing, you know? I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, there was one particular thing that me and Gurno that we experienced that was, yeah, it definitely was a wake up call, really, wasn't it? And we just thought, no, that's it. After that, no more. You know, we're not doing that again. Like, you know, I mean, it wasn't
so
any
to give
bad. It
to
was
give
it
you,
was
yeah, go on. You finished,
yeah,
mate.
so
Sorry.
it wasn't anything bad. It was just a case of being wrongly accused of something that we had nothing to do with, basically. You know, that was
Yeah.
it was. You know,
I
and
I was going to say, to give you an example, I was out filming with Captain Mick Spanner and Matt Williams the other day, and the last location of the day, the police were called, the neighbour. So basically, Volt put his drone up to recce the place out. It was
yeah,
only up for 2 minutes, and the neighbour seen it go over, phoned
yeah,
the police. Our cars got blocked in, and we
yeah,
came out. We came out, and we were as we all are normally, completely respectful.
yeah.
Um, explain what we were doing and everything, and the police and even the neighbour were lovely, to be fair. And the way they put it across was, not everyone's like you guys. They said we're actually having stood here
Exactly.
having a.
Yeah,
They said
exactly.
we're having stood here having a decent conversation about it.
Yeah, yeah,
Although we don't agree with you that you're doing it, we know that you are allowed to do it and your
yeah.
intentions aren't bad.
That's right. Yeah, and
But it's all the other ones. He said the problems they've had with other people
yeah.
was
I mean,
unreal. Hence why there was such a quick response.
it gets back to what I was saying with as well. I mean, it is the actions of a few that ruin it for everyone, basically. You know,
Yeah,
and that
unfortunately,
is
mate.
why,
Yeah,
you know, I really do believe you have to be so careful sometimes, or you know, and I think the quickest way to not get into any problems is to think twice before you're going to do something. You know, I mean,
yeah,
even if something seems a good idea on one day, you go back and look at it again and you think to yourself, nah, this isn't a good idea, you know. And
yeah,
I mean, my aim is to personally, you know, look at things in a responsible, sort of respectful way, basically, you know. And of course, you know,
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with we've had it lots of times. We've gone to look at something and we couldn't find it, or perhaps it was like didn't realize it was on private land, or we didn't realize it was inaccessible because it was like completely overgrown and about 6 feet thick brambles, like, you know, or we didn't realize that, you know, we had to go across that bit of land to get to it, which of course that is, you know, not good, or whatever, you know. And I think it's just having the common sense to say, like, no, come on, no, we got to write that off. We can't do that, you know, and admitting defeat, and you know, but why not
yeah,
go and find a hedgerow somewhere and put the kettle on, have a cup of coffee, and chill out, and just, you know, take the piss out of each other,
yeah, mate.
which is
Yeah,
usually what
definitely.
we do, isn't it? Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it all depends how determined you are to do something, you know. But
Yeah,
you have to weigh it up, don't you? You know, and we have to, you know, it is all about how, you know, I've got a conscience, and I know a lot of other people have as well, you know. And I think to myself, like, no, I don't need to risk my reputation and, you know, potentially my safety as well, just to make a
yeah,
video, like, you know. I mean, but a lot of
yeah,
people don't think like that, do they? You know, I mean, an awful lot of people, they think they're going to get some kind of fame or 150 likes or whatever for doing it, and they're that's pressuring them to go and do bad stuff, or maybe they just don't get.
yeah.
You know?
I think a lot of it is as well is because there's so many people doing it. There's such an oversaturated market of people
Yeah,
urbexing. There's
totally.
literally thousands and
Yeah,
thousands of people doing it, thousands and thousands of channels,
yeah,
and it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things, isn't it? There's
yeah,
just
yeah,
there's so and like they because there's so many people doing it. I think a lot of people feel that they need to try and stand out. And to try and stand out from other people now, a lot of people are trying, reckless stuff, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's also like it's like no doubt it's a massive trend that's been set in it. Or let's go and have a look at that abandoned hotel. Or, we're not too worried about that the upstairs, the top floor is like got paper thin floors in it, but it might be like rotten, but let's go in there and film it, or and then they go in there without thinking anything about it, all them and all their mates and whatever, and then they have problems, they come unstuck, or they or they get caught, or and everybody just seems to think that that's what all YouTubers are like, which is it's not really true. I mean, I think it's yeah. I mean, but that's just the thing, and I think the younger, maybe some of the younger creators are more likely to be influenced by other people. That they watch the sort of videos that people just don't care. They'll just go and.
I think a lot of the younger creators are a bit more fearless as well. I remember back when I was that age, mate, I was certainly a lot more fearless than I am now,
Yeah. I mean, I think I was to a certain, I definitely wasn't, maybe not quite as sensible now as I was then, but but that's part of being young, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're older, you seem to think more, because that if you get it wrong, it's going to hurt, and it definitely hurts more when you're older. And it takes longer to heal up as well. Yeah.
There's a lot more consequences. Most people have got family with wives and children or whatever as well, jobs, and a lot of people when they're older just can't afford to get injured,
Yeah, definitely. I just wanted to show you these as well. I had these made up recently. These are some new two-wheel exploration stickers.
Can you keep one of those for me, please?
Yes, of course, mate. Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah.
I've got Kerno stickers here, but I need a two-wheel. I'm collecting them from everyone that I film with.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, well, next time I see you, I shall give you some. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I've actually got some here that shout out my mate Wayne, Angry Duck Automotive. He's probably still watching. He done some up for me, so I got some in my bag now. So
brilliant.
That's ideal. Great.
We've still got
on to the last category.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, you'll be surprised as well that there's 12 people in. But you'll be surprised how many people watch them after.
Yeah.
So even from the very first podcast that I've done, there's people watching every podcast every week.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool.
They're getting a lot more views after than they are when they first go up, if you see what I mean.
I feel a little bit guilty.
I think when people are discovering them, they're going back and then watching the older ones that are already done. I've put them in like a playlist.
Yeah. I just like to say, everybody in the chat, I do feel a bit guilty because I feel like I'm ignoring you all, but I am not. I'm just
no. There'll be This is why I said to you at the beginning. I normally go on for 5 minutes to say hello to everyone first, because I don't want to feel like I'm jumping in and ignoring them.
No, that's cool. Yeah.
Don't forget, as always, guys. At the end, we will have a chance for anyone in chat to be able to ask you some questions as well. And if anyone after this is watching, feel free to leave a comment in the description after, and Mr. Two Wheel can always get back to you as well. So that'll be cool. On to the final category, which is experiences and highlights. So question 26, what's the most surreal or unforgettable location you've explored?
I've got to think now, to be honest. I think definitely well, I'm trying to think. That is a really tough question. That is a tough question. Well, one thing that really did sort of touch me a bit was made me sort of emotional was a long time ago, me and Mark, we went up to Tregonning Hill, because up at Tregonning Hill, there was in, I believe it was 1941 or 1942, there was an air crash it was an RAF aircraft, and it was coming back from a raid, and it crashed into Treconning Hill in the fog. There was some kind of problem with it, and it crashed into Treconning Hill. Well, we actually did go up there because I was shown a photograph by somebody, and this photograph was taken a very long time ago, and it was actually carved into the side of a large piece of rock in Treconning Hill. Was a memorial to these men, and it's actually up there. You can see the video if you look on the channel. You can see it there, but we had no idea where it was, and when we got up there and we started to, look in the general vicinity, well, we actually went right down to the bottom of the quarry, basically, because it's a huge quarry, and the stone of the memorial to it is almost at the top of the quarry, so it's quite a steep drop. But we went down, and I think that was, I got a very, 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 emotional feeling down in that quarry, because obviously you got to remember those 4 guys, they died in that, they died instantly in that crash, and we found the memorial to the aircraft. And I think when we finally found that, and myself and Mark, we were there with we took some gardening gear, we cleared it, and I took some bottles of water and a brush, and I scrubbed the stone, and we tidied it up, and I left a little small RAF flag that I had down there. But I'd just like to say, we didn't find it on our own, because it was some friends of ours who live near there. They actually went up there and they found it and told us where it was, which was fantastic, because we didn't ever have found it. But we trimmed around the stone and everything, and we there was some really old little like poppy crosses that somebody had left there, obviously a long time ago. But that was a very I did feel very emotional about that. When we found that, and
good job for you tidying it all up though, mate. That's lovely. That is.
Tried, but I think now if you go back there now, it's likely it'll be completely overgrown again, because it's not a well-known place, and it's not easy to get to, but at least it is there, and we know it's there, and we would like to go and see it again, possibly at some point, but I think it will be definitely a tricky one to get to and find again, and we'll have to clear it out again. But but I think not enough people know about that, because it was just a tragic accident from the past, and
talking of accidents and aircrafts from the past, I know someone that lives out near Gonnes Lake, and their son a few years ago went walking through Tavy Woods somewhere, and found a crashed aircraft, German aircraft.
No way, that's incredible.
From World War II, and there was still stuff inside the aircraft, and there was a book. There was a book in there in German.
Wow!
And he took it home with him, and he showed me the book last time I was at their house, but he's never been able to find the aircraft again.
Bloody hell. That's crazy, yeah. That is utterly crazy, yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities with that story, innit? That it's possible that it was a large part of the aircraft was still remained above ground, whereas usually when an aircraft crashes, it makes a hell of a mess, and it digs a deep hole, and there's been all kinds of there's so many of these sites all over the country, it is I mean, I know there was one I heard about. It happened many years ago, and it was I think it was in the main street somewhere in Kent, in a town. They were digging a trench to replace a gas main or something like that, and they were digging, and they had to stop digging because they found a solid metal obstruction, and they didn't know what it was. And then they actually did reveal that it was the cockpit of a Spitfire, and the cockpit section of a Spitfire, and there was actually remains of the pilot still in there as well, which is an incredible thing to have to come of. And I know that the pilot was given a full military burial and everything else, but I just think the logic is that with back in the day, right, if an aircraft comes down so hard like that, it hits the ground, the engine and the prop and all of the heavier side of the aircraft quite often get pushed into the ground. The wings and fuselage all stay above ground. Well, at the end of the day, that gets cleared away, and then there's a hole, isn't there? And they just fill in the hole, and that's obviously how it's sort of like there. But I mean, I've heard some interesting stories about things that have been found down towards Land's End as well. This is somebody I know lives down that way, and he's told me about a few things and stuff. So there's definitely a few more opportunities to go and have a look for some of these things, you know. And your friend John, I'd like to. He lives down that way, and he told me about it, and I'd like to go and I'd love to go with him one day and go and have a look around with some of these places that he's found things, you know.
Yeah. Cool, man.
But I think there's more to discover.
I think I'm going to know the answer to this, but which county or region has the most fascinating military sites, in your opinion?
Well, I think I mean Cornwall is we're coastal, aren't we? You know,
Yeah,
and we've got a lot of like original World War II defences, and I would probably say, without having gone into Devon that much, there's probably quite a lot up in Devon as well, I'd imagine. So
I think there is, mate.
I think that to say that Cornwall is best is, you know, I know that there's probably a lot more Cold War stuff up in Devon than there is down in Cornwall.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it would be a hard choice to make that, really, you know, without having looked around a bit more in Devon and other places, you know. But I think
they're both amazing counties for military history, mate, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a place that I've wanted to go to for a while, which is just on the other side of the Tamar. It's a place called Yelverton. RAF Harrowbeer, which is like was a little airfield in World War II, and I believe there's like a museum there. And then they have like a World War II show every year, and they have this. That's something I've never been there. I'd love to go there and just have a look at it, you know. But I did go.
If you find out when it is, I'd be interested to join you for
that.
Yeah,
that would be good. Yeah, because I mean, it was it's meant Harrowbeer is mentioned a lot in some of the historical records of like flying activities and stuff, and I think it was like a generalization that a lot of the RAF aircraft moved around quite a lot between different stations down here, and of course, you know, Harrowbeer was one of the places where they went. And I know that Harrowbeer, sadly, it hasn't got its runways and stuff anymore, but there's still a large section of it that's left, you know.
And I think I know where it is actually, but I didn't know they had an event as well. I didn't know they had the museum and that they held an event there.
I think they do, yeah, every year, and it's just one of those things. Unfortunately, in the past, I've just never been able to get up to. You know, I've always been doing something else.
Actually, yes, we did go up there once, and there was fucking absolutely tons of military vehicles all over the place.
Yeah, there's a little event up there they have every year.
Yeah.
I've yet to make it up there, but yeah, I'd like to go up there.
Question 29. Is there a dream location you haven't explored yet?
Well, I think what would be great would be to find perhaps maybe some more sort of like coal. I know, see, down in Cornwall, we only had one what we call a rotor bunker, which was basically a Cold War bunker, and that's down near well, it's privately owned, by the way, but it's down near Porthleven, not Porthleven, sorry, Covrac, down near that way, and that was really good. We did feature that in that video. We did feature that down there, and that was a lot of history there with that. But I know that the up country, there's definitely a lot. There are some other sort of like, you know, like rotor bunkers and some, you know, deep level underground sort of like you know, shelters and and installations and stuff like that. And I think I would really love to go and look at a few more things like that. You know,
I think that we should arrange a trip for when me and Captain go back to Portland.
yeah,
That you and Kerno come with us and we go and camp, because
yeah,
right on
that
top of the hill, the other side of the gorge from the prison, there's a farm called Fancy's Farm, and Matthew Williams done a video in the underground massive rotor bunker that's there.
wow, well, that would be awesome.
And
Yeah,
me and Captain, when we were there, went to the farm to go and speak to the woman who organises it and owns it. She wasn't there, but her workers give me her number. And they said that, yeah, if you like pre-arrange it and you take out your own insurance to cover you, and I presume make a small donation to the farm, that you're allowed to go down there.
yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, I mean, because I've seen some of the locations that up in sort of like the Midlands and sort of like the southeast, and the IKS have done. They've done some incredible stuff. You know, I mean, I was like that massive fuel depot that they were in at Portsmouth, like was just those cavernous underground like fuel tanks. And
there's so much stuff in Portsmouth.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing. Yeah, I'd like to film a bit more, you know, about that as well. You know, and I'm sure as well that there's some more sort of like World War II airfields and stuff, and a lot more sites all over the place, really, that would be lovely to go and see, you know, and because we've pretty much think we've covered most of them down here now in Cornwall.
I know a couple of guys now that know the Portsmouth area and a lot of the military history there, like incredibly well. So I could probably get us a tour of the place, mate, at some point if you want to head up there.
That would be quite good. Yeah. I mean, provided they could put up with me and Kerno a couple of Cornish pasties, like, you know.
You're all right, mate. You're a good laugh. It was a bloody good day with all of us. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, you know. I know. I don't want, you know. I'm not a big head. I don't know absolutely everything, and I don't, you know, I don't proclaim that I do, but. You know,
no, you didn't make out like you did when we were there. No, you told us about the bits that you knew, and there was some stuff that you didn't know, and it was, you know.
But I remember when I learned about the bomb store up at Davidstone Moor, and I did actually think I was amazed to hear about all those bombs without their fuses. They would have just been left out in the rain and stored like beer barrels, like you said. You know, that was just, you know, and can't imagine a more potentially dangerous situation, can you? Being surrounded by all those aerial bombs, all like, you know, stacked up and ready to, and
mental, mate.
Yeah, and just think of the sheer tonnage of bombs that were flown over to Europe and dropped. It's staggering, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
That all these things is part of the history that you think about, you know, and you think to yourself, Jesus, you know, I mean, and not just what they did, but obviously then the human cost of everything as well. You know, that's always, you know, the crews of the aircraft that never came back, and it's quite often it's a very. It's not just about history and infrastructure and stuff. Quite often there's the humanity comes in, you know, when you think about the men, not just the men that flew and were crewed in the aircraft, but the guys keeping them going on the ground, and you know.
Well, and even all the women medics, mate, and you know, the nurses and the caterers and everything, mate. There was a lot of people that served for our country, that fought for us to be a free country, you know.
And of course, like, you know, the ladies who worked in the NAFI making everybody's tea, and you know, and getting everybody their newspapers, and you know, and the cooks in the cookhouse and feeding all those people, and you know, and
everyone came together back then, mate. It was a different time, you know.
It is.
They were proud. The country was very different back then. I wish it was still the same now.
Well, there's just one thing that there's another. there's a chap called he's been doing YouTube videos for years, but chap called Phil in Cornwall.
Right.
He's actually got some original footage of World War II footage of RAF Portreath, and you see the aircraft and the men there working on the aircraft, refueling them and loading them with munitions and bombs, and just the general guys just standing around with a cigarette, looking idle, and you see the crews getting into their aircraft and the aircraft taking off and stuff, and it's just that just paints a real sort of like picture. That's what I always think of,
That's incredible, yeah.
And that's
on to the last question. Well, I'm going to ask you one more after it, but it's the last of the 30. What's one story from your explorations that still gives you the chills?
Ooh, that's another tough one to think about. It's difficult. I think I've done over 500 videos. I've just got to cast my mind back a bit.
That's right, mate.
Yeah.
I'm going to make another coffee while you think, because I've
Sorry,
I've got a coffee machine in here, mate.
Oh, can you make me one? Pass it through the screen.
Mate, I would if you were here.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to think. I think what you see, like, so it's like what put the willies up me, sort of thing.
Yeah. Anything that really gave you the chills or anything like that.
Yeah, well, like I said, it is. I mean, we have. I mean, Two Wheel Exploration is not really a paranormal channel, but we have had some weird things when we've been out and about. We've had some weird things, and I think one of the things that give me a good sort of like hairs on the back of the neck and shit, that was we visited that army camp, Penhale Army Camp, and it was the second time when we went back there, because we've only been there twice. The second time we went back there, it was when all the lights were off, and the whole place had a different feel to it completely, because all the buildings, so there was no power anywhere, all the lights were off, and we did actually go and have a cup of tea in one of the huts, and Mark had his little radio. It's like a two-way, and there was a lot of interference on that as well. We were talking to the radio, and I said to Mark, I said, look, ask it if that's a spirit there. If it is, then to key the radio once, and this, that, and the other. And we definitely were aware of something. We didn't go there looking for it at all. We had no intention of looking at it at all. And there was two things that happened that night. We went into the hut, which is that particular hut where that incident happened back in Woking, and we heard a voice, and it was kind of like an American voice, and it basically said the name of the camp. It was Penhale Camp, and I swear I didn't say it, but we both heard it. And there's a little video clip on my channel. You can see it, and you can hear that voice, Penhale Camp, and that is not that is not me. That is not Mark. We don't know who said that, but obviously we were thinking we're not on our own. And to conclude that as well, as we were leaving the camp, we got near where the guard room was, the guard room was basically like where the camp watch guards would have been. It's like the police station on the camp, basically. We were looking at a memorial, because the incident with the bombing up there in 1940, early 1940s. All those men, I think there was about 10 or so men that were killed in that raid. It was literally a one-off. It was one aircraft dropped a stick of bombs, and about 10 men were killed, sadly. And these guys killed, they were veterans of Dunkirk, basically. So they were rescued from Dunkirk, They were sent to Cornwall to that army camp to recover. It was supposed to be like a break for them, you know, and they ended up sadly they were all killed. And you know, to mark that, actually in the army camp there is a stone which is just opposite the guard room. There's a little bit of grass with the green there, and there's the stone. And when we were looking,
I know which the guard room is now. Then, because
yeah,
I remember that stone.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
When we were looking at that stone, right now, we noticed before this that the doors on the huts, they all open, they close, they open inwards. The doors
Yeah.
open inwards, right? Not outwards, but inwards, right? So
Yeah.
it was a bit blowy that night, but it wasn't that blowy. And we looked at the stone, and I swear, as soon as we'd finished reading the text on the memorial stone, a door on a hut the other side of us, it slammed really loudly, all by itself, inexplicably, like, you know. And it wasn't, and that was the one that said, right, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the real one that woke us up. Yeah, it was like, yeah, all right, guys, time to go.
I have to say, I didn't experience anything while I was there, other than just, I suppose there was a weird feel about the place.
Oh, definitely,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I think it was really weird where we got to where the kitchens and that were as well. It was all like so overgrown inside.
That's right.
It felt so apocalyptic as well.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't go there looking for anything. We weren't even, I mean, paranormal wasn't even on our minds when we went there. We were just literally going there because the last time we went there, all the lights were on, and then we went back again several months later, of course, and all the lights were off because we thought it would be the last time we'd see it, because we heard that it was going to be demolished and cleared and redeveloped. But
yeah.
But I mean, and we were told on both occasions that there would be security, but we didn't see any security at all, you know. And both times, it was just
I've only been there once, and we didn't see any security or anyone there.
Both times we went there, the gates were wide open, and we just, we just went in and went out, and we didn't do anything. We didn't damage anything. We just had a look, took a few pictures, walked around, and came out, you know. And
the gate wasn't open when we went, but we just walked over the gate because it wasn't an overly tall one.
But I mean, it was just literally open, you know. And I think while we were in there, I think we might have seen the first time, we might have seen somebody walking their dog around in there rather randomly, like, you know. But but I mean, I know the place now is completely different. I think it's possibly being earmarked now for demolition. I think they're going to pretty hell bent on destroying it all now and redeveloping it, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a shame, really, mate.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
On to my last one then, because this is an extra one. Oh, dropped my phone. What's next for Two Wheel Exploration?
Well, I think I mean, it's not all total history that we do. I mean, I need to do I'd love to do another few motorcycle videos, you know. So we're just going for a ride, and we've got possibly want to do some more camping as well, and we'd love to go off further afield as well, you know, and go and look at perhaps maybe another part of you know, the more sort of like northern bit of Cornwall and into Devon as well. That would be a good thing to do. And of course, you know, it's just I'm very, very lucky now, because I'm in a much better position now than I was a few months ago, you know. And I'm not going to go into any detail about anything, but I think hopefully things is definitely my mental health has improved a lot now. So I've definitely got more, you know, headspace now than I did have before. So I think I'm doing okay, and I'm looking forward to opportunities that will hopefully come up, you know, in the future.
Yeah, mate, definitely.
Yeah. And I've had some of these. These are the crew ones that we made, and I don't know if anybody's seen the Facebook group, the Two Wheel Exploration Historical Interest Facebook group. Well, our expert Jeff in Germany, we sent one of these to him, and he's got one, and Mark has got one as well. And I think in the not too distant future, we might possibly get some fan ones made up, because obviously these will be the crew ones, and we're thinking about getting some fan ones made up, and yeah, because I know there's been a bit of interest in that as well. A few people, everyone said, "Oh, I'll buy one, I'll have one, I'll have one."
I think merch is a good idea, mate. It gives
yeah,
your
yeah,
friends and family and supporters
yeah,
chance
that's
to
right. Yeah, I
just
mean,
give a little something
yeah,
towards helping the cause, and they get something cool out of it as well, don't they?
yeah, and I think it's sad really, because in the past I've not really been in much of a position apart from some old stickers that I've had, but these are the new ones. These are. So hopefully we may see some of these scattered around the countryside, and wherever we've been, and it's just great to be able to move on with life, if you know what I mean. It's it is good, and we still have Charlie Dog. He is still an integral part of the channel. Yeah, so we'll be seeing lots more of Charlie Dog and the bike as well, and that's another thing. I've just got the bike fully sorted out now, and that's the main thing. And that's going to be seen a lot more on the camera. So
nice.
We're definitely going to be doing more with the bike, and we just hoping and praying that the weather, folks. We just want some decent weather now, don't we?
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed.
A really rotten winter when it is absolutely horrendous winter. Oh God.
Yeah, it's been wet for a long time, and now it's not wet, but it's just ridiculously windy.
Diabolical. I don't understand why it has to be, why it has to be windy,
The weather needs to just give us a bit of a break now and let us enjoy life for a bit.
Yeah, that's what we need. A few sunny days and a few sort of chilled out beers in the garden, and just and
definitely.
I could do with a bit of t-shirt weather, maybe, just to have you sort of brown up the forearms a bit, and
it'd be nice to get some color on the skin again, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So the next bit I normally cover is what social medias and stuff you're covering. Obviously, your YouTube channel link for anyone that's in chat now is pinned in the comments.
Thank you very much.
If anyone's not subscribed already, if you could go and click that and drop him a sub, that would be absolutely lovely.
But then remember,
for anyone watching this after as well, there is a link down in the description with that YouTube channel, so you can do it through that as well. What other social medias are you using, mate?
You will find us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group. It's called Two Wheel Exploration Historical Interest, folks. It's just a place where quite often when I go out and I do explores and things, that's where you'll find first instance photographs. So before I put anything on YouTube, I usually bung it on there, or maybe we can raise a discussion about something that we've looked at, or maybe somebody's got an idea for something for us to look at or whatever. Then it's friendly and nothing bites, so feel free to join.
Are you on Instagram or TikTok or anything?
No, not I haven't really done Instagram or TikTok, but
no. It's the main two are the YouTube and the Facebook group.
And of course, anybody with comments on YouTube, please comment, ask as many questions as you want. I always do my best to get back to anyone quickly, and it's something I really do enjoy doing is engaging with people, and anybody's got any questions or wants to ask a question or about a certain part of a video or whatever, please just don't feel like you have to wait, just comment. It's great.
and if you send me the link for that Facebook group, Adam, after if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can, I'll add that in the description down below as well, so the people watching this after and now can go in after and then be able to click the link, and then that'll take you to the Facebook group as well.
Yeah, that'd
Which
be
would
brilliant.
be bloody lovely. So, right, we'll go on to has anybody in chat got any questions that they would like Adam to ask? While we get that going, is there anything else you want to cover, mate, that we haven't covered?
Oh, I just think we've done quite a thorough job, I think.
Yeah, I think we've gone
Sorry, I was
over.
quite sneezing for all of a sudden.
No,
Yeah,
you're absolutely fine, mate.
yeah. No, I just think that with the way things are at the moment with the country and everything, I think it's going to get a bit harder for everyone to, it's affording stuff, isn't it? It's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think what we do well, but we don't want to, we don't want to go pushing the boundaries really and making it too expensive. And you know what I mean? So I mean that affects a lot of things, doesn't it? Like when you're traveling and when you're.
Oh, don't we know it, mate? I was out last weekend. Me and Captain were out for the day.
Yeah.
And we crossed a couple of counties and we covered a lot of miles, and we done 70 quid in fuel in the day.
Christ, yeah, that's quite a lot.
So,
Yeah.
So the further afield you go, the more expensive the trips are. Then you've got to, think of other things as well. Have you got any bridges to cross with tolls? Have you got to park anywhere that you've got to pay? Then you either got to take lunches and stuff with you or buy food out on the road.
That's it, yeah. And of course it comes down to your technology as well. And I think I tend to hold on to stuff and use things for a lot longer, really, rather than just sort of like upgrade them and this that.
Yeah.
Try and get. No, I wanted to get a media mod for the GoPro, one of the GoPros.
Yeah.
So I think I might be looking into that and get that sorted out. Because as well, I've realised as well finally that for a long time I've been using the GoPro without any kind of microphone.
Yeah.
Which I think is for like, I know that in the video we did of David Stowe, I think that was extremely challenging to actually talk over the wind.
It was incredibly windy, mate. It couldn't have got much windier that day.
Well, I think your videos and Kerno's videos will probably have much better audio than my video, because obviously you guys.
Yeah, I haven't gone through my footage for it yet. In all fairness,
yeah.
I hope to get it out in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of places that I've hit recently that are quite fresh on the market.
Yeah.
So I want to get them out there before too many others do, if you know what I mean.
But it's good. It's good to have a few things in stock, isn't it? Ready, you can.
100%, yeah.
Do at later date and stuff, I mean,
yeah.
I think I'd like to try and do a bit more with the channel, like more videos and stuff. But it is very difficult because obviously, I've always tried to keep it sort of like as and when I can, rather than pressured to do stuff, and it's been a big change for me over the last month or two as well. It's been a massive sort of like complete 180-degree difference between how I was a few months ago and how I am now. It's a big change, and for the better, which is great, so
still takes some adjusting to, though.
Oh yeah, that's just it, innit? So I mean, it's just how it is, that's just how it goes. But
we got a question from Kerno saying, what does Adam think of Kerno?
I think Kerno's great, to be honest with you, mate. The videos are good and always good quality, and I like the Kerno style with his videos, and I like the way he sort of like he's a very good talker. I love all his like narration that he talks on, because he talks with confidence, and he it just goes together, and it seems to work, and
I think you're both really lovable guys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, I think you're both lovely, and yeah, I'd definitely like to do more with both of you in the
Yeah,
future as well.
we like you guys too. We think you and Captain are great, and
Yeah,
I think,
I think we all got on really well that day, and we all were looking out for each
yeah,
other,
yeah.
and we all had a
Well,
good time. And
I said to Mark last time I saw him, I said that like me and him have been cooperating with each other for quite a while now, and I think that
yeah,
we're glad to see that you and Captain was kind of like buddied up with stuff as well, because I think that
yeah, it's nice to have someone there that's got your back, um, and
yeah,
I've even found with a few recent trips where you have a few more of you again as well. It's
yeah,
almost like, especially if the group's a really good bunch of people, you almost feel like you got a bit of safety in numbers. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
definitely, yeah, yeah. And I mean,
Yeah,
I very quickly got the feeling that we could have a laugh with you guys as well, which is like half the problem.
yeah,
If you're not sure about something and being in that situation with somebody, then you know it can be a bit tense for a while. You can think, oh, I don't want to upset him.
yeah,
I don't want to, I don't want to say the wrong thing, or you're kind of like eggshells rather than sort
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I think we all got on really well, mate, and it was a really
yeah,
enjoyable
yeah,
day for sure.
yeah. We did.
And
We had a good day.
obviously, I'd met Mark before when we'd done the paranormal at Crowley's. So, but yeah, he's a lovely guy.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, that's one place I've never actually been is the Crowley place, and I think it kind of gives me the Windies bit that place. So I think just from what I've heard about it, so yeah,
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 yeah, it's a
but
cool spot, mate. Very cool spot.
yeah, I bet. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that video you did with you were there, and when Kerner was there, and I think Captain, you had that fire going in that fireplace. I thought that was amazing.
Oh, it
Yeah,
was stunning, mate. Yeah, that was Halloween night. That was.
yeah, yeah. Were you there all night that night? Were you or?
I can't remember what time we stayed till. It was
Yeah,
fairly late. It was
yeah.
fairly
It was
late. Yeah,
bloody cold, wasn't it, that night? Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was very, very windy. We were lucky we missed most of the rain because it was hammering down most of the
Yeah,
day.
yeah. I bet. Yeah,
Um, but
yeah,
it seemed to stop when we were walking up there, thankfully. But I remember it being very windy.
yeah. Yeah, it's a lovely part of
Yeah,
the world that down there as well, isn't it? Yeah, it's
yeah, yeah, definitely.
mm.
Right, well, I think I'm going to think about wrapping it up there then, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah,
Want to say a massive thank you to Adam, Two Wheel Exploration, for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure, mate.
no
Really
way.
enjoyed it.
And I'm so chuffed.
I could talk to you all day, mate. It's
Yeah, I'm so chuffed that
you're an interesting bloke.
the internet has worked and it's gone a lot better than I hoped it would have. So yeah, yeah. So thank you very much, and thanks for having
Yeah.
me on here. And great, folks, and
Don't
thanks for
don't
everybody.
don't click off yet though. I'll have a quick chat with you backstage after.
Yeah, yeah, no
Uh,
sweat. Yeah,
but obviously anyone watching this after, the link for his channel and his Facebook group will be in the description below. Please go and share the love, mate. He's over 500 subs now, but we be cool if we could get that up to a nice 1,000.
I
He
don't
definitely
quite believe that 500. Yeah, that's kind of cool. That is. Yeah, thanks.
he definitely deserves it. He's a very knowledgeable guy, and yeah, he's filming some cool locations. And it's a very, very, very important part of history. So yeah,
Yeah,
go and
and
share the love and give him some support and all that.
I think that if people actually go back and look through all of the videos I've done, I think you might have people always seem to miss one or two, and there is
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
a playlist as well. I've done a playlist for World War II stuff, and I've done a playlist for Cold War items, and
yeah,
that's always quite interesting because we have done quite a lot, and I think one of the best vids we did was the old searchlight generator bunker up at Pendennis Headland, which we did, and I don't think there's many people that have been inside that at all. So I think we've, that's a good one to watch.
yeah. Cool. So yeah, go and check out his content, and yeah, massive thank you again, mate. Massive thank you to everyone that's been in chat as well this evening. And massive thank you to everyone that's going to watch this after, mate, because I promise you there'll be plenty that do watch it after as well.
Oh,
So
thank you. Yeah, nice one.
bloody lovely. Right, I'm going to end it there, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All
Much
right,
love.
cheers. No worries.
It'll be Captain Cornish's night tomorrow. So
Yay!
he's got a Thursday night premiere going up and then probably a live stream after. So go and check him out as well. Much love to all my regulars that are always on. Angry Duck Automotive, Crafty Corner with Safe, Killers on 359. Bloody legends. Love all of you. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.
See you later. Cheers, folks.